Alright. Hello everybody who's watching. Welcome to another live stream. The first Tech Tips with Angle stream, and also the, I guess, second ever Tech Tips with Angle anything on my channel. Today, I'm going to be vibe coding. And by that, I mean just straight up coding while vibing. I think I honestly can't complain about too much the slang for using generative AI to write your code as vibe coding. It's honestly so stupid that I can't hate it, but also like it's stupid. Like, if you ask me, and to be fair, I did not come with this idea. This was a YouTube comment I saw somewhere, and I've tried looking for it and I can't find it. Whoever out there first coined this, I guess, you have my full respect. Vibe coding is just coding while vibing. You don't need AI for that. I don't need AI to write bad code. You're about to see some probably bad code. But guess what? I made it, and I vibe. So that's what this stream is. We're going to be vibing, we're going to be coding, and let's get into it. So, this is actually for a school assignment. It is a data processing app, basically. I mean, I have the details of it right here. So this is what we need to do, and we're not really required to use anything specific for it. In class, we've gone a little bit over Jupyter notebooks and Python and like some of the libraries you can use to do this kind of data processing and pre-processing, but the professor isn't forcing us to do that. And so I decided I'm going to be a bit silly and write something in Java, which is the language I'm personally most familiar with, because I can. And yeah, so that's what we're doing. So what I have so far, and this is definitely not the best way I could have implemented some of this, I'm sure. I already know I have an idea of how I could spread this across two classes of just one. Classes as in like the file, not like class where you go to learn. That context might be necessary since I am talking about one of my classes go to learn and for that's what this is for. Anyway. This is the mess so far. Basically, I just need it to be enough to spit out what I and my partner, this is a two-person assignment basically, what I and my partner need to write the report. So, and the thing is, we don't actually need to include the code with the report, so frankly, this could be even worse. I was actually considering leaving it even worse than it is right now. I did a little bit of cleanup earlier today, but the looks of it doesn't matter as long as it spits out something functional. So, what we have right now is this is the CSV file of what we're working with. If you want, you can go get it yourself at this link. So it's weather and air quality data from Beijing. Recorded from 2013 to 17. It's this zip file. You go in. It's a picture of someone's dog. Good boy, good girl, good doggo. You ignore these. Go into this zip file, and then there's these CSV files for different stations. I literally just I pulled up a random number generator for 1 through 12. It picked 6, which is Guchang. I don't know how to properly pronounce Chinese words, so my apologies if I completely did that wrong. I don't know. Anyway, so we're using the Guchang CSV. And what I've written so far is basically in this Java program, what I've written so far is to import, well, let's open this file and import all the data into 2D array. So actually I was having a conniption with this for a while because, see, some of these don't have decimals, some of these do, some of these are strings. So I was thinking, like, okay, how do I want to do an array with multiple data types, which is possible. You can make a just object array, which I was doing for a while, and then later I realized it always makes more sense if I just make everything into a double, which I'll get to. So this is a double array for the data. There are 18 columns. Actually, let me just open this in the LibreOffice Calc so you can get a better look at it. So there's 18 columns. I actually just discarded the last one because it's a string and I don't need it because literally the entire thing is Guchang. Whoopsie daisy. So that's that. And then the other string is this WD, which stands for wind direction. And so I came up with the system, and I honestly can't tell, but if the background music is like louder than my actual voice, it shouldn't be. I think I got it right. Say something in the live chat and I can fix that. Anyway, over wind direction. So I came up with a deranged system. So north, south, east, west, and then in there we have, it'd make a lot more sense. I drew this on a whiteboard. Instead I could just go ahead and show you the code for this. So down here we do, I have a method function called wind direction to number. So you take in the wind direction string, and for each of the different ones, there are 16 different directions, convert to number between 1 and 16. Because part of what we need to do, well, one of course is to have it in a not string form so I can put in my double array. I guess it's kind of weird to convert it to an integer. I wrote this a little bit before I just gave up on the idea of using an object array and just having everything as double, which is why it's like this, but it still works. So have it all as an integer, basically, because one of the things we need to do is clean all the missing values. So, I'm losing track of everything. If I pull up here again, all these NAs are missing values. And there's multiple, and this is part of the point of this assignment, because we've learned about different ways of cleaning up missing values in this class. And I will probably have to go and find the slides for this class to refer to for at least the outlier stuff. But anyway, one of the things is called mean imputation. So what you do is, for a category of data, which is a column, you take the mean of everything that isn't, a missing value, and then you replace those missing values with the mean. That's mean imputation, and I think that's honestly the easiest way to implement a sort of missing values cleaning thing, so that's what we're going to be doing. Let's see. But anyway, for wind direction, which I think some of these are missing. I'm just scrolling through. There's 35,000 data points, so hard to see just on a little cursory glance, but So I'm pretty certain there are some missing values in here. So what you do is take the mean of all these in number form, which again is going to be from 1 to 16. And then, of course, as the mean is going to be double, but if I just round that to the nearest whole number, I'm going to convert that back into a direction. And the thing is, the numbers do mix. It goes in a circle. 1 north, 2 is north northeast, 3 is northeast, 4 is northeast east, 5 is east. So it's not, numbers aren't just randomly assigned. They do kind of loop around. So the mean isn't just going to be meaningless, haha. So yeah, that's what we're doing for that. And then again, so these are integers. Some of these I thought were integers, but then as I was writing, running the code, like testing the, am I actually importing everything correctly? It complained like, hey, we can't turn this number into an integer. There's a decimal here. Like, what? So like, in I think all of these columns at some point, there's just a decimal will just appear. These look like integers. They're not. Don't be fooled. So, see, look at this. 88.8949. All of these are whole numbers, and suddenly, boom, double. So it honestly just made more sense to just have everything as a double. Whatever I need to like make into an int, I should be able to just parse it as an int again. But yeah, so that's what we have so far. We have the getting the file stuff in, and for column number 15 is the wind direction one, so that's where I call the wind direction number thing. And oh, I left the doubles tag here. It used to be an if thing for which ones were integers, which ones were doubles, which ones were strings, but like I said, they're all just doubles now. Excuse me. I think I can get rid of this white space, my bad. Cool. There's that. Okay, and -1 for just if it's none of the directions, it's probably just NA and missing, but yeah. And then we have, actually, sorry, I forgot to mention one other thing. Where did I put it? Here we go. So, if the bit of data that we're getting equals NA, so then it's -1. So we're using -1 to represent a missing value. Because none of these. Oh, wait a minute. Shoot. Okay, looks well. There we go. There's the first thing I need to fix. I would say none of these values go into the negatives, so it should be fine. But then dew point does go into the negatives. That's an issue. All right then. So the next best thing I'd say is, instead of -1, we'll do a -99. -999. It works well as a hey, this is not an actual thing here. Alright. So if the data, there we go. This is now how we're cleaning missing values, so the mean imputation. So replace these with the -999. Alright. So now cleaning missing values, which is called after we get all the stuff in. So what we do is first go through the whole array, and then for each of the columns, so categories of data, what we do is just traverse through the whole thing and see how many missing values there are. So we'll counter for that, and then do that. Afterwards, if there's more than one missing value in said column, we're going to loop through it again and take the sum of all of the not missing values. So then we can calculate the mean, which will just be that sum, minus the number of data points minus the missing data points. That's our mean. I have little, I like just make random little print commands and just debug at the front, just because I'm debugging, okay? But yeah, so all I changed was the -1 to -999. Should be able to go ahead and, oh, I need to, okay. Java C, need a thing, there you go. So should we go ahead and run it and you'll see what we have going on so far. I know it's been unnecessary. I think it's kind of cool just to see all the lines being loaded in, so I have been doing that. Alright, there we go. So there we go, our CSV is loaded. Now, column 5. So this is 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So it has a missing of the PM 2.5. There are 646 missing. And so go back, find the sum of the not missing ones, it's that. Find the mean, it's 83. And what I'm about to implement next is the actual, it's going to go through again and replace all of the missing values with this mean. In column 6 should be particulate matter 10, less missing values, but there's those. Mean is that 7. I'm forgetting which ones are. Okay, so that's sulfur dioxide, nitrogen dioxide, those, 9 and 10 would be carbon monoxide and ozone. There's a lot of missing anyway. Oh, there we go. Now we have scientific notation. That is a lot. Whoops. A lot of numbers. Anyway. See, 11 is temperature and precipitation. So we have this. Dew point. That's what I'm curious about. Dew point is the one that does drop the negatives. Yeah. Actually, I'm also curious about rain. Rain is just a 0 or a 1, it seems. Wait, is it? No, that might be the amount of rain. I don't know what units in. Okay, that's why maybe like a 0 or 1, like if it's rained or not in this hour. All the data points are each an hour. And that's that. 15 is the wind direction. So here we go. This is the one that we turned all those strings into integers. And so the mean afterwards, 7.7, so we're going to round it up to 8. And that means the average, the mean wind direction is south-southeast. Interesting. That's that. And 16, which I once again forgot what that was. WSPM, I don't remember what that stands for, but there we go, there's that. There's only 42 I'm saying. Okay, that's nice. It's the one with the least amount of missing values that isn't 0. Very cool. Alright, now, like I said, now we're going to do the action. Now for some actual coding, for some actual vibing, which is going to, well, listen. If you vibe code because coding is too hard, I promise you, it is a lot of Control C and my scroll does not like me. Control V. I keep changing the orders. We're on L now. We're not doing anything. So we got the column mean there. Wait a minute. Oh, I copy pasted the wrong thing. Okay, sometimes it's a bit of a Control X and Control V as well. There we go. Alright, so now what we're going to do is go in, find each of the missing values, and where it's missing, so I'm going to ij equals column mean. There we go. With one exception, actually. So this is going to be actually, Think about how I want to do this. Actually, I could just do it the way that I first thought. So what I'm thinking about doing is having another if statement for whenever we get to column 15. Because in column 15 is wind directions. Those need to be, those can't really have decimals. I need to round the column mean to just 8. It's a bit inefficient to do here because even in every other column it's going to be checking if this is where we're doing column 15 and it only applies for column 15. Also, the philosophy, so I'll admit, I don't program things as much as I'd like to. Like how artist blocks think, programmer's block, I don't know what the hell I want to make. So that is something I struggle with. And sometimes I have to remind me, and also the internet is a scary place. People will take any opportunity to get at you for having bad code. But sometimes I need to remind myself, the philosophy I like to live by is better bad code than no code at all. Like, I'd rather write some shitty code than not any at all. So that's what I'm going to be doing. Yeah. Alright, so we said do if I equals 15. Whoops, CD. If I equals 15 and double ampersand that. So we're going to be doing. Actually, wait a minute. I have a better idea. Another if statement down here, which this might actually this might be even less efficient now that I think about it. Screw it. Just to prove a point, I'm going to make this. I'm going to make this bad. For funsies, yeah, alright, so if I equals 15, so there, we're going to be doing theta ij I think it's 4. Here's another fun thing about programming is you don't, just because I don't think you should be using AI for this stuff, doesn't mean you can't look stuff up. You can absolutely look stuff up. Do I remember every single little method and thing to do? Of course not. I think what I'm looking for is floor. And now I think that I also need to add. Oops. plus 0.5. Alright. It's in the math operator, so I'm going to look up Java floor. Doesn't look like I need to import the math thing. Okay, so math got it. Okay, I can't remember, but see, you can look things up. So it is math.floor. That. Alright, cool. So I'm gonna rewrite my little debug statement here a little bit, as well as add another one. Alright. So now, oops. Wait a minute, I should just alright. Save. I'm gonna do back. Also, I just realized this. Sometimes I forget things, and by things I mean that in this loop we're using L, not J. And I fixed it. Cool. So see how this goes. That's... Wait a minute, I just realized. I'm making it run on a bunch of things that it doesn't. Whoops. Alright. That's because this is, again, going through every single piece of data. So... Actually, okay, I think it would be more efficient if I did... I'm gonna... Okay, this definitely is less efficient. I could just have the if above and then... Well, like I said, I'm doing this bad proof point. I'm not sure what that point is anymore. There we go. Now I need to move this little debug thing here. That should be good. Alright, yep, here we go. That's not all of them, so those are the means. Okay, so like I said, for column 15, we want it to be... Okay, wow, there was a lot of missing wins. Scroll up. Does it? That's as far as up as it go. Okay. Well, you get what I'm saying. There we go. That's what we wanted. So we've cleaned the missing values. Now we need to do the outliers. There you go. That's some vibe coded. That's some code we vibed. Yeah, and it works. Not much, but it works. And it's going to give what we need for the assignment. So, outlier stuff. First, I'm going to get rid of that. I'm going to actually keep. It's supposed to debug sound, but I think it'll be nice to keep in the final thing. Let me see how that works. There we go. Oh, that is not tabbing nicely. Okay. There's another tab after nub missing. I could just do, it's probably a bit excessive, but I could just do 2 tabs after all of them. I don't remember if this terminal has like line wrapping. Actually, I think most do. Clearly didn't do enough. This might not be something I can actually fix with tabs, but just want to see what happens. See, this is also my way of vibing coding, is wasting time. I don't need AI to waste my time. I can waste my own time. Thank you. Yeah, this is okay. I'm just gonna stick to double tabs. That's good enough. Cool. Outliers. So which this is, yeah, handle all outliers. I'll just make another, I'm just going to call it handle outliers for funsies, because I'm not the most creative with naming these methods. Cool. And now, like I said I was going to do earlier, let me find the slides for this, no, PowerPoint slides for this class. Oops. Don't remember if it was in chapter 2 or chapter 3. But we're gonna find out. Control F, outlier. Alright, there are things about outliers. There we go. Okay, maybe it was not a good idea to do this late at night because I don't, my brain is not happy trying to comprehend all of this right now. The one slides are some examples of outlier detection, and one of them looks possible. Statistical-based traditional unimodal statistics. So you take the mean and then standard deviation. There, you can calculate the threshold. So it's between. So your threshold is the mean plus 2 times standard deviation, or the mean minus 2 times standard deviation, and everything outside that threshold is an outlier. That honestly seems to be most sensible to implement. So it's only for like one-dimensional data, but I think that makes the most sense for what I want to do, because I don't think that outliers necessarily matter too much in like how they relate to other columns. I guess they kind of do, but like for this assignment, I don't think it's that big of a deal. So I should be able to basically do that with every single one of the columns. So, let's say what you're currently looking at is a virtual machine that I have this going on in, because, believe it or not, just making a little Debian VM is the easiest way to just have a little place for you to write this code and not have to try and hide random things on my computer. Yeah. So whenever I'm talking about something invisible, it's because I'm looking at it, in this case, a PowerPoint presentation on my actual computer, not in this VM. So, we need to find the mean and the standard deviation for all this stuff. Cool. So, trying to remember how nothing to look up. Standard. I know there's two different formulas for standard deviation. One for like a sample, one for a population. In this case, it would be. I guess it would be a sample. Because, like, this isn't. The data we're working with isn't every data point of air quality and weather ever in the world. What I need to do is remember why I'm doing. Let me rephrase that. What I need to do is look up the formula for that. Okay, I'm remembering this now. So you take the mean. Well, you find the mean, and then you find the deviation of every data point from the mean. So you take that data point, subtract the mean. You take that thing, you square it. That's that. And then all those deviations, take the mean of those. It's your variance. And your variance is your standard deviation squared. So you take the square root of variance, standard deviation. And that's for population. I was just talking about needing to do sample. Okay. Okay, I think looking at Wikipedia for this isn't helping out. Not because I don't think Wikipedia is reliable to find, just a mathematical formula, but because it's using the really fancy jargon that maybe I'm stupid and should be understanding, but no, I just want standard deviation sample formula. I just want the dang formula. Okay, so it's the square root of. Is that not just the same thing? No, okay, it is different. Okay. Sample similar. So it's similar. So you subtract every single or you take each data point and you subtract the mean. So you then square that, and then you add those together. That sum you divide by n minus 1, so n is the number of samples. So that minus 1, square root of that, sample 1. Alright, cool. Before I also... It's just me or did the music stop? Hold on a minute. Video pause. Yes, continue watching. It's kind of annoying that YouTube playlists do that, but I mean, fair. Okay. I'm gonna text my partner for this assignment, who I think is actually possibly watching right now. I did send them a link to this live stream. Insert name here. Hi, I'm about to text you and ask you something. So I need to use the standard deviation for something, comma, would it make more sense to take the population standard deviation or a sample standard deviation. Now it would be makes to use the formula for, I'm thinking sample, but I want to, oh, alright, thank you. Communications. We got an answer. The answer is sample. Sample time. Alright. So first we need to find the mean again. Okay, I just got the text back. I see all eye emoji. Thank you. Very cool. I appreciate that you do. All right. So my bad. Any more for loops? I will say I already have said multiple times to both the professor and my partner that my way of solving most of these problems is copious amounts of for loops, and that is still standing to be the case. Alright. Where's the J1? I'm going to do I'll do another column sum. Sometimes it feels weird to like initialize another variable with the same name, but like it's in a different method, so it doesn't really matter. Alright. That's hold on a second. Okay, yeah. I was missing a curly bracket. Right, so column sum equals data I, not P, J. Cool. And at the end of that, actually, you know what? I think I should make another array. Or should I? Actually, okay, I don't think I need to by Mind the Future. My thought process right now is I was thinking about having an array, also even a 2D array. So one for each of the same amount of columns, and then in each of those is just a 2-element array, one for the mean, one for standard deviation. But I don't think I need to do that, so I'm working column by column. Yeah. Alright. And I just lost my train of thought. My bad. Oh, first we need to find the mean. Another column mean. Going to equal column sum divided by data I dot length. And even though I don't need to, it feels right to put parentheses there and do that. Cool. Oops, my bad. Just hit the microphone bit in my headset. This is the other fun thing about vibe coding. Sometimes the vibes require me to stare at the computer screen and recalibrate my train of thought, even though the next step I'm sure is completely obvious, but my brain cells are pointing anywhere but. So a tech tip, stare at your computer screen for long amounts of time. What's it going to do to your eyes? That's not important. What's it going to do to your brain? I don't know if this is a good thing to do to your brain, but eventually they'll figure it out. What am I saying? We have the mean. Now we need a standard deviation. So, which I think I can do all in one line. Double column standard deviation. So, first we're going to need to do, I think that's about, well, let me double check the math. Whoops. Math thing. Math.squirt. Yep. Alright, so we have math.squirt. I lost my train of thought again. I have the format there. Okay, cool. So, we need, okay, I was wrong, we can't do it all in one thing. We need more for loops. Now we need some deviations. So you define all of the deviations, which is going to be let me double check what's the sum of square deviations. Going to be bear with me here. Alright, is it .power.pow? It's .pow. Cool. That minus the column mean. Also, I just realized that it just hit me. So we're going to be like going through all of the sorry, my friend just stopped. All the columns here, but and I just okay. So these first five, the first number is just the data point number, like which number it is, and the next four are times of day. Last I checked, time, especially when you're doing one every single hour of the day, like from this, usually there aren't outliers. Like, I don't think 8 p.m. is an outlier in the time of day. I think that's just how that kind of is. I swear, there's a, in one of the lectures, the professor mentioned it. Okay, I think that might actually be what he talked about. But I think there's a kind of data where you just, there are outliers, just whatever it is this. So I just realized we need to, not go through those columns to handle outliers, because what outliers? Anyway, but for these, makes sense. Although now I think about it, if we get rid of an outlier, does that mean we get rid of like this whole row, whole data point? Or I guess not if we're just looking on like a column by column basis. I don't need to decide that right now. Let me finish the code I'm vibing out first. These are vibes. Vibes are questioning how math and statistics work. Yeah. Alright. So now do sum of square deviations plus equals that. Wait, oh my gosh, is that... Sorry, I had a realization. Okay, pardon me if I end up accidentally astral projecting within the next about 4 minutes. My favorite song on the Minecraft soundtrack, C418 Tazwell, is playing, and that usually does cause me to have an out-of-body experience. Which, I mean, kind of a vibe, I must say. And this is the vibe coding stream. So actually, now that I say that, I think that's a completely fair thing to have in this stream. But just to warn you, oh, here we go. It's going to go. Well, the second half. I'm going to turn it up. Actually, on. Wait, I didn't call it head on outliers function. It's not going to do anything. My bad. Wait, oh, I fried. That was incredible. Oh, this is not a good one. Yeah, sorry, that's power of the C418 Taswell. And it disappointed me because I did something. I have the standard deviation. Yay. But I also forgot to not do this to those first columns. And also not to 15 because wind direction, it's one of 16 things. There's not exactly, I don't think it's something that can exactly have an outlier. I mean, well, I'm sure it's possible for there to be like an unusual wind direction, but I guess it could be an outlier. Okay, I was going to skip over column 15 to actually know, because even if, you know, wind direction is only one of 16 things, I guess, like, there could just be, like, one direction that it's almost never... Also, that doesn't make sense, because... Alright, well, for now, I'm gonna let it also be counted in all of this, and I just realized I should probably do the little double tap thing again. Actually, no, this was, I was gonna make it also kind of like a missing values thing. It'll be in the final, whatever. But no, this is debug because we're still figuring things out. Oh no, I'll figure it out later. Alright. So, yep, starting column 5. So what does 15 look like? The standard deviation is 4. Alright, yes, and now we need to find the threshold. I will say also because I don't have to, you know, turn in the code, I'm not commenting very much because I'm lazy, and most of the time too tired to articulate myself. I'm forcing myself to articulate myself because, you know, this is a live stream, and honestly it is kind of helpful in the end because that way sometimes talking this out makes it make more sense to myself. So yeah, but since I don't need like turns and anything, all the comments are basically just more of like notes to self. Just like remember why I did something, but I did. Everything else is usually if I can read it, I can remember what I was trying to do. It doesn't necessarily work for things that I wrote over a year ago. Discord bot that I wrote, the way that there's a time command. And the way that I had it work, I actually wrote like a pretty detailed comment for it, and then I found it about a year later, and I think I had to reread that comment and look at live code about 5 times to figure out what the hell it was doing. Like, I jumped through so much hoops there that I honestly probably should not have, because like the Java's like date and time classes are weird, and this is just what made the most sense to me. It's something that does not make much sense. So, yeah, I could not remember for the life of me what the fuck I did, nor why or how I did it. Point is, comment your code if you want to. You probably should, but sometimes you might want to be a bit silly and don't, like I'm doing right now. I'll remember what this does tomorrow, and I think that's what matters the most here, because I'm not going to be re-explaining this to someone. Like, it's not going to be a year in the future I'm going to be re-explaining this code to my partner for the assignment. The assignment, we're not going to be working on it in a year, okay? I don't know what point I'm trying to make. Alright, well, let's find a threshold. Where's the slides? So, the threshold is basically what, if the data point is outside of this, it'll be considered an outlier. So, lower, threshold is just 1H, right? Yeah, okay. It's not going to be 0, it's just a placeholder. Oh cool, lower up are the same number of letters, that's cool. It's look nice in model space. Let's see if we can turn down the music a little bit, sorry. There we go. Alright, so it's the mean, or for long it's going to be the mean minus, or mean minus, mark parentheses, 2 times standard deviation, right? Yep. Standard deviation. Also, I just realized I don't really need col in front of all of these, because it's, whatever. Alright. Another double tab. Threshold is going to be lower threshold, comma, lower threshold, comma, upper threshold. Cool, let's see how this plays out. Oh. What did I forget? Oh, that's a regular coin. Whoops. Okay. Vibe coding. Alright. So what does it say for one direction? Threshold is -1 to... Oh, I can't read. Wait, what? Did I accidentally write lower threshold twice? No, it's upper threshold. Oh, that's the problem. Okay, I put minus twice. Okay. I wonder why they were the same value. There we go. Okay, yeah, that kind of worried me about one direction because, you know, the threshold for an outlier for one direction is going to be between -1 and -1.2 and -16.8. And the values are all between 1 and 16. So we're good there. None of those are going to be outliers, but we're still going to traverse them because I'm going to have it traverse through all the values, basically. And after that, what else do I need to do after that? Handle all outliers. Then we need to do this, but I'm not going to do this on stream because I should also mention it is 8 p.m. and I have not eaten dinner yet, and I'm hungry. But I'm also, I'm in the sauce, and the sauce is the vibes. And the vibes is what I'm using the code. Wait, that would be yawning, sorry. Point is, I want to finish what I'm working on. I want to finish what I'm doing right now, which is the outlier stuff. Yeah. Alrighty. So, now I need yet another for loop. I was not kidding when I said copious amounts of for loops. Now we're getting down to L territory. For this, we need to check if IL is first I need to make sure it's greater than lower threshold. Oh, we have another music happening. Cool. It's greater than lower threshold and less than upper threshold. Oh, I don't need a comment for that, but it feels right to put one. So just if the point is within threshold, is not an outlier. Actually, wait, I'm missing the point here. Okay, so now we're at the now we're at that existential crisis, and by that I mean that was what I was unsure about earlier. First things first, I'm gonna do another parentheses. So is not within its outlier. There we go. So it's not that. That's an outlier. But now the question is, what am I going to do with the outlier? You know what, for now I'm just going to do... just have a little printing for now to tell them, basically say, hey, this is an outlier. Angle, do something about this. What the something is, we're going to get to in a minute. Alright, outlier detection. Okay, that's it for the chapter 2 slides. Does chapter 3 talk about what to do about this? Outlier. Control for outlier does not give me anything. Okay. Outlier detection and removal. Section of KF identifies. Yeah, I'm just gonna go ahead and run this, see like how. Whoops, what did I do? So I'm expected. Where is it missing? I honestly don't see what's wrong. Oh, that's the issue. Okay, I forgot a plus sign. That should have been a lot more obvious. It's all the vibes, you know? There we go. Alright. Okay, that's a lot of outliers. I feel like there's a lot of outliers. One that does worry me is range. That's going to be 15. That's going to be column 13. How many of them are 0? Like, I need to double check what the threshold for it ended up being. Just another little stupid. If I already forgot it, that's 13, right? Wait. No, 14. had some rainy days later on. But so the threshold is -1 to 1.7. Okay. So no, I have an idea. Actually, I'm gonna bring that back real quick. I'm gonna comment it out. Nope. Trying to remember. Here it is. Okay. Had to remember the keyboard shortcut there for a second. And what was I doing? Oh yeah, I was gonna do another print thing. Outlier sum. Yeah, just for debug purposes. Oh, whoa, no, that's not what I wanted. I did this wrong. Alright. Yep, as expected, one direction, no outliers. So, again, there's 35,000 data points. So, alright, so 1,700 outliers, 1,400, 1,700, 2,000. Okay, so the most outliers is in column 10. Which one was that again? 0, 2, 4, 8, 6. Oh, and ozone. Okay. Think about what I want to do about this, because I get this depends on how I'm gonna have to talk to a assignment partner about this, who might still be watching. I don't know, it seems like the number of viewers has been fluctuating between 0 and 1, so they might have left. But also they see also, they might just, be psychic, using psychic powers to know what I'm saying right now. And what I'm saying right now is I'm thinking about whether, like, removing outliers just to remove, say, an entire row. So if a row has an outlier, I want to get rid of, that piece of data, get rid of the entire row that's in, because we just have missing data again. If we get rid of that one outlier. So that's an option. Another option is, what is another option? The only other thing I can really do is, I mean, what the hell is the, sorry, what the heck is going on with the music? Oh, okay, that was C418 at the end. That explains it. Just end soundtrack. Yeah, it's silly noises. Okay, sorry, where was I? Yeah. Other option is just get rid of the outlier and have nothing there, like just, I can just put minus 999 again, and if I need to, like, you know, find data through each column again, just hello if statement, ignore 999. I just, my phone went off. Did I get the answer? Are you asking if a row having an outlier deletes the... Yeah, that's what I'm asking. I don't know if I should do that or just get rid of the little thing with the outlier itself. Because also if I do in direct communication, I talk into YouTube live stream and then I get a text message. Love that. But yeah, it depends on what we do, because this is kind of embarrassing to admit on the internet, but I forgot what an MA feature is. I looked it up at one point. I can kind of see it in my head. And that was based on time, so that, yeah, like, getting rid of the entire row if there's an outlier, I think is necessary if, yeah, moving average. I think getting rid of the entire row if there's an outlier there is necessary if we're doing, like, 2D stuff, so using more than one category, and a 24-hour one would be that, because the hour is another category. Yeah. Which actually, you know, I could change the code instead to make it so it, instead of looking through, okay, it does say handle all outliers in data set, so that's not a possibility. I was thinking for a moment that what we could do is modify the code so instead you tell it which column to get rid of outliers in. So first I can go ahead and, dang it, ladybug in my room, okay. Tell to get rid of the outliers in PM215 and PM10, and just get rid of the rows that have the outliers in those, and then find the moving average with the hour, because, you know, this is all we really need. In that way, you know, getting rid of the entire row with other outliers isn't going to get rid of potentially decent data here. But we're supposed to remove all outliers, and now I'm saying it out loud, I think that might also, if there's an outlier for this over here, that might, you know, indicate weird stuff with the other data. So actually, yeah, that just makes sense to get rid of the entire row. Which, in a Java, it's going to be difficult to do because there's a set amount of array elements. They're not just like, it's not like, or wait a minute. Also, it's not like Python where you can just sort of like pop them, or I mean, the stack is kind of like that. I think that might be, I need to look something up real quick. I mean, what I could do is something I was kind of trying, but I gave up on. Which, you know, how would that would work out? Okay, basically, if we get rid of an entire row, that just means we're gonna have an empty row, and that's not really feasible because we're just poking a hole in the cheese when we don't want Swiss cheese. I don't think that's a good analogy, but that's all that's coming to mind right now. It'd be more useful if I could... I actually can just sort of try in Excel. If I get rid of row, there we go, we just have a blank row now. It's not like I can just have everything. I mean, in Excel I can do delete row, but you know, in Java I can't exactly do that. I can't just have everything fall down in another spot. I can if I were to use an array list, which is a like kind of object version of an array. It doesn't have like a set hard number of elements and do stuff like that. But I was actually trying to do that from the beginning, and it wasn't working out, but I honestly forgot why. I might just let my hubris get to me and try again, and possibly that could work out. Yeah. Okay, well, I will say, I think I have decided, if you agree, go ahead and tell me if you agree. I think the thing we should do about the outliers is, if there's an outlier, just get rid of that entire row. Which, worst case scenario, we lose like a few thousand data points. We have 35,000, we'll still be fine. But yeah, and now the hurdle is just, like I said, dealing with the holes in the Swiss cheese. I need to fill the cheese holes. But that, I think I will probably... Oh, there we go. Alright. Partner said that's fine with me. Cool. So, to the live stream viewers, which I think right now literally is just my assignment... Oh no, there's 2 viewers. Okay, hello, other person. Well, to the other audience member, my attempt to implement an array list will be for later, and by later I probably won't be doing it in the stream. Point is, I'm hungry and I want to go get dinner, and I want to take a little break from this. So, again, I might as well, for the sake of doing an outro, talk about what we did today, what we learned today. On the stream, which hour and 40 minutes. Okay, I was expecting to only go for maybe like 50 minutes. That's pretty awesome. So what we learned today. The missing values are actually clean now. We did more than just find where the missing values are and calculate the mean. Or at least that's what I had at the start. Now, we actually did the mean imputation. We did the imputation of the mean. I think I'm using that word correctly, I don't know. But we actually went back and replaced all the missing values with the mean. Then we started doing the handling outliers bit, so using the, what's the name of the thing again? Traditional unimodal statistics. Using that, we found all the outliers. We have the handle outliers method now, and now decided that we're going to just get rid of the entire row where there's an outlier, and we haven't done that yet. But that's our next course of action. This is what we got done. That is how you vibe code. This is vibes, Minecraft music, and writing bad code, both unintentionally and intentionally. And I honestly will probably be doing another quote vibe coding stream in the future. Not of this, but yeah. Anyway, that is it. Thank you for watching this stream. I'm going to go eat dinner and then continue working on this because the assignment's actually due tomorrow. Sorry, assignment partner, I know I really should have gotten a lot of this done earlier, but we're getting there. I don't know why I keep saying that. I have nothing else to say. Thanks for watching. Have a good night, everyone. And remember, you don't need AA to vibe code. All you need is vibes.